Copying this button.
Copying the buttons. Whoa, I'm not even on the frame. Whoa. I love technical right off the bat. That's like the way to go. What's up, dudes? Everyone's people. This is Warp Charge Gaming with our live talk show every Thursday.
What the fuck
Welcome.
just happened?
James is, whoa, camera jumping in and out. Man, like I said, we're going to have a little bit of craziness right off the bat. We are jumping in like we do and going to talk about 40k stuff and other GW game systems, gaming in general, tournament talk, or whatever else we come up with. We love to hear from you, so feel free to join into the conversation there. I'm going to go ahead and get proactive and pull up the YouTube so I can see if anyone's participating with us as we go along. We were just monitoring another gaming channel. I think you said they had 60 followers, James? Is that what?
What?
What was that other gaming channel you mentioned? They had 60 followers, you said, or something?
They have 60 subscribers and 8 people watching.
60 subscribers. Dude, we're at 7. We're at 7. See, we were there's this channel has
What?
There was a channel right now that has you mentioned that had 60 followers, you said, or something? Okay. So we're at 6. We're at 7 again. So like we saw this channel, they had 60 followers. So we're like, yo, we can. And they had 8 people watching. So we were hoping we get 8 people watching. And lo and behold, hi everyone. So good to see you. The things that we're going to talk about. James is a little under the weather. Migraine hit him hard. So I'm going to try to fill the airways with my voice as much as possible. Pulling on him for the 2 cents that he's so good at offering.
Dude, I don't know if it's my internet, but you are cutting in and out audio-wise.
Really? I'm going to assume it's on your end. I will check.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that too.
I guess this is probably why the Spiky Bit crowd does like that little intro show where they do all their troubleshooting, right?
Yeah.
I can see the value of that. You know, I'm trying to pull it up on my phone, just make sure things sound okay to y'all. Give me 1 sec.
But we're here. We're live. And like, yeah, we ain't hiding nothing. I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, dude.
You want to bring your dogs? You want to search?
Right. I think we're solid. If I'm breaking up, it's on your end, my friend. Checking the phone and all that. So, camera's being a little silly, I'll tell you that. I just got back from Battlegrounds, played a couple of games of Kill Teams today. That was a good time. You know that if I get talking about Kill Teams, I won't stop, so I'm going to save that for a different moment in time, maybe in this episode. Unless you want to start talking about Kill Teams, audience, if you are also hype on it and have questions, thoughts, concerns. I put up my first impressions video. I'm dying to put up more. And just yesterday, for the last 2 days, we put up 2 of our first live Kill Teams battle reports. One was a 3-man match, and then we put up 2 1-man matches, Tyranids versus Death Guard. And it was great. I won by 2 points on the first one. We were playing Nova Open missions, which is in like 12 days. So I'm super pumped for Nova right now. I'm getting extremely hyped. Got the final newsletter, before all else. I was looking at the charity auctions. That's one really cool thing about Nova, James, is the charitable aspect about it. Because like everyone, like their staff is all volunteer based, right? Like they have open volunteer slots now for helping to clean up, pack up, set up, whatever, or even just run the floor. They're looking for judges right now. Even you're almost like an honorary TO. You're more like there to grab other people when you're in over your head because you don't have a ton of experience required. But man, the bar is a charity bar that's ran by volunteers. It has a culture of really thanking the people that are working in front of you because they're there because of their love of the hobby. And like we've talked before, James, it kind of falls in line with my kind of Burning Man-esque principles that I live by. A lot of the same type of systems, participation. I love the idea of just going to an event and kind of divulging in everything that they have to offer, and just kind of taking. I think that's what's cool about the gaming community is, the work that people put into their display boards, their armies, the backdrop behind it, just the effort that they do to get there to make all that happen. Like these events aren't what they are unless the people that go to them make it what it is. It's like James is jumping back in and on and off for a second, probably still listening. But the, that type, I like that participation factor. and that puts a lot of value into what's going on at these things. Just gonna pop over to YouTube, see what's going on. What's up, David? Nice. And Will Polly, hey gents. You know, speaking of David and Will, you guys make me think of the Warp Charge Gaming tournament that we just recently had, and the one we had before. That's another good type of example of participation. Like, without the people coming out to make it what it is, it wouldn't be near as cool. Like, I definitely got so much more excited knowing that Will was coming, knowing that David was coming. For the first time having Warhammered out to one of our events. Always been a personal fan of their gaming team. From meeting them for the first time last year at Nova, coming right up once again, seeing them again at Adepticon, and just knowing that there's some traveling folks out there. Jessica Bowman being one of their teammates, being one of the best Necron players, and we having some Necron players in our group who have watched them closely in the ITC. Super good times. So, you know, again, the people make it exciting, and seeing people again coming back, being stoked to play and just get down. Attitude in perspective is a lot of what makes your gaming experience and the experience itself for the people around you, right? And yeah, I've honestly, over this last year, looking back like year after year, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there might have experienced the same thing, but when I look at how the hobby has grown for me each year, hey, what's going on? You're on the internet.
Hola.
Yo, yo, yo. How you doing? There you
Yes,
go, little delay.
Karen.
Yeah, it's coming on here in a moment. Wonderful host.
Hi.
Nice.
Cheers,
James and his lady saying hi.
Love
to
you.
the internet. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I see. There she is. That doubles is really fun and well done. Thank you, David. Yeah, I was just talking about perspective, James, and the experience that we go through as the hobby goes along. Oh, you didn't have your headphones in. Might not hurt me.
What?
Nothing.
Dude, it's just not really working for me over here.
Yeah.
Having lots of technical difficulties.
You know what?
I can't hear a word you're saying at all.
I'm just gonna stay in my zone. You almost need to just listen to the delayed version on YouTube or something. I'm gonna stay in my zone and keep talking about what I'm talking about.
All right, you stay in your zone. I might have to just dip because this is not working on my end.
All right. Yeah, no worries. I got David here. I got Will here. It's all good.
All right.
Yeah. So, anyways, back at the subject at hand, and that I was just about to talk about the Warp Charge Gaming doubles tournament we just had. It was a fantastic experience. We got to have almost double the attendance that we had last time at 26 players, 27 counting me. A few folks that couldn't make it that were still, you know, in that lineup of people I expect to try to make it at these events. And the potential is being seen. The energy is growing as far as people experiencing what it's like to go to a Warp Charge Gaming event, particularly with the venue and just kind of what we try to bring as far as the fundamentals or the essence of what makes a fun time or a good event. And for us, you know, gotta love trophies. Like, I love a good keepsake. It's not all about first, not all about the amount of money, but to have something sentimental is cool. And I find trophies to be really affordable for how much value they offer. There's no reason I think anybody running a good event I think needs to have trophies. Just it's too cool. I know the Shadespire trophy that I won at Dragonfire Games. Like, I was pumped to get that thing. I got it right here. Yeah. See if I can. I'm looking at the delayed YouTube here. Yeah. Let's see if you can see that guy. You might have seen these before, maybe in your local gaming store. This kind of trophy is expensive, and I got to give props to GW for making these things, because that ain't cheap. I need to hook up a better view, y'all. So we usually are grabbing ones that are within that, you know, $10-ish range, which when you're getting like, you know, 6 trophies or whatever, that adds up to a good chunk of change, but nothing too crazy. Here is my ghetto. I'm trying to give you guys a ghetto new version here of watching me without James being here. Swoop. Check that out. Anyway, so yeah, it was a great event. It was awesome. I'm all about the trophies, all about a venue that offers alcohol. You know, we're pretty much adults playing this game, and I think that it adds a lot of fun. you know, people like to party, and it definitely makes more of a laid-back vibe, I feel like, where people don't care about the results as much and they just have fun and roll dice, which I think is healthy and a good thing. And then on top of that, just kind of getting in that headspace. Like, I love music in the backdrop when I'm playing dice games, and I like to get in the zone like that. And I am sad when it's not there. If I go into any place of business and they don't have tunes playing, you know, I used to manage a music retail store as my last gig, and I was in music retail for 10 years. Always was about vibe, right? You know, you talk about, like, this is going on a rant here, but, like, you know, you call and you get hold music. That hold music, like, puts you on ice. It calms you down. It doesn't make you like, what the hell? Where is somebody? So, you know, I go into, like, the post office or something, and they damn sure need to have some jazz. Or I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why do I got to wait in this line in such a mundane way? Can't I, like, you know, kind of vibe out for a second on some universal jams, right? Classical music, jazz, whatever, some thinkers. I guess even some pop radio, whatever, right? Might get a little controversial in the post office. But I think music's tight, and I love the venue that we have, Gallery 5, because I got a full sound system at my disposal. I'm rocking, like, mushroom jazz trip hop, which is by the artist Mark Farina. I pretty much run his albums all day long, which I love, and got it at a nice low-key volume, but enough to bob your head and put a smile on your face, real funky, good feel vibes. And then have a microphone to talk over to the audience or to the group, well-spoken, professionally heard when things need to be said. You can always command the airwaves and speak to everyone professionally, which another thing that appeals to me. We project the score or the timer on the board there. We're using the Best Coast Pairing app, ITC official. It's just, like, on and on. Like, we're hitting the heads, I feel like, of everything that a good tournament needs to have, and we're putting on all the effort to do that. The main thing is, in order to go big like we do, we rent tables and rent the venue, and I bring every bit of terrain I have there. Got, you know, it's a lot of coordination, and it's about, you know, it being worthwhile, and the potential is there. And the reason we're doing it, one, is just because we want to see what we're capable of. This is the first couple times that I've managed and ran a major event like this. Even though it's an RTT, we take it as seriously as if it was the big time, right? And try to give that kind of impression, which I think it's been doing well. I've been getting a lot of commentary to say we can go bigger and better, but you know, I still have intimidation to take risk. Because if I say that we're gonna do, you know, a 50-person GT, then I have to commit to be ready to do that. I need to have that many tables and that much terrain, and I whether people prepay or not, I have to expect them to pay at the door. If I choose to do just pre-registration and no paying at the door, like, what if we don't get enough people to equal what the event's supposed to be? I still had to go through the effort of going through it. It's just a little nerve-wracking, right? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And we're still making plans for November to potentially do a 2-day GT. That was the goal we set for ourselves in the beginning of the year. Literally January, you know, first month, first few weeks of January, we were making these plans to have these tournaments that we just had. We had first the Warp Charge Gaming Invitational, which is a private tourney we've been doing for the last 2 years of my birthday. And we've done that in houses, my house first, and then my buddy Ali's house second. You can actually see a behind the scenes as well as the top table streamed like we do on all our other events for the Warp Charge Gaming Invitational. It's back in our backlog of videos. I'm sorry, I'm ranting, guys. I need to look at the YouTube, make sure you're not talking at me. What's up, Will? We got Ice Wolf. Hey, Ice Wolf. Yeah, thanks, Will. Thank you. Will, I heard your display board was fantastic, dude. I haven't got to see it. You know, I remember when you came to the tournament up here, you didn't have it all the way ready yet. I believe you didn't have it yet, and you were talking about it still. But I heard that it totally kicked ass at the Lord of War tournament. Yeah, James is right. I believe the support's there. I'm feeling real positive about it. You know, I just also feel the need to communicate that this stuff doesn't just happen on its own, and we need our community support. If it's true that, you know, I think that we've reached enough critical mass now that we can draw an even bigger audience to be able to fill those numbers that we're looking for, and that's kind of that initial legwork that needed to happen. We have enough footage to show you that we're kicking ass and taking names when we throw these events to have a badass time. We've learned some things these last couple, how to expedite and make the experience easier to set up and make happen, and also how to create better content. On this previous one, I was the odd man out. You know, I'm scheduled to just host and run the stream and everything. But in this case, I did have to play because we had an odd number of players. So that was an interesting experience, trying to run the stream, be a judge, and play the game in a respectable manner. I definitely brought a list that was just like a pushover list. Even announced to the gamers there that if they couldn't beat me, then they had to deserve to lose, actually, and that I would gloat even, because it was a Space Wolf Index army with a bunch of wolves that were not optimized. So, you know, hey. I did not win any matches. There was someone had to go home and dropped on the third match, which allowed me to be free at the final round there. But it didn't let me be able to rock that top table, be able to communicate with the audience as much as I like to. So no matter what, at the next one, I have to you know, sacrifice kind of a player to be able to help me run the event / play if they need to. And that'll be a big relief, because I definitely need to be able to give my full attention to the stream. 8 watching. I'm so appreciative of all you folks, because we had this, you know, again, we were just checking out this small little channel a minute ago, and they had 8 people watching, so surely we can do that. Today I just made a new giveaway video. We're giving away some dice. Been getting a lot of requests, actually. You know, the more that we've been playing with them on camera and at the game store and at our events, people are starting to ask for them. We have 5 new colors coming, and of course we have our original Vortex Orange. And we will be offering one lucky winner a color of their choice, and we will send them a set for free. That video will be going up probably tomorrow, you know, very, very soon. So that's exciting, and I hope you get a chance to get some. Otherwise, they will be available. Once we get them in. It takes 9 weeks to make these things. It's a pretty big order, and that will probably be by about the time the giveaway is over. They'll be available to sell as well, so check that out. It'll be 10 for 12 plus shipping, nothing crazy. And of course, everybody knows that there is some news about some Space Wolves and some Orcs. Blam! Of course, right before Nova, right when my whole plan all year was I was going to run Space Wolves and Nova, I kind of got discouraged and bailed out at the last minute, and decided to play Kill Teams and Shadespire at Nova, and lo and behold, it looks like the book will be here before the event. Crazy. So that shiver me timbers, Space Wolves is coming. From what I've seen so far, it looks cool. You know, we heard about this Wolfen Dread Knight, you know, where the profile looks very similar, but yet they hid all of the special rules. I think that was very purposeful. This is what got leaked, though, their chapter tactic. This is pretty darn cool. I heard some I was watching the Long War last night, and they were discussing the difference between Blood Angel tactics versus this tactic, and the difference between being +1 to hit versus +1 to wound, because that's what the Blood Angels are, +1 to wound. And you know, they definitely both have their benefits, and arguably the +1 to hit can get you more wounds in the long run, and in the math is kind of what the Long War was saying. So sensible enough. I think it definitely is good. I don't mind it at all. The 6-inch heroic intervention is going to be really fun, where those characters like the character dreads, you know, Murderfang, Bjorn, Chaplain Venerable Dread, or not, Chaplain Venerable Dread, Forge World, Arjak, Wolfguard Battle Leader. Like, I love running a ton of Space Wolf characters, so being able to have a bunch of them behind some Thunderwolf Cav that if you want to engage, you're going to end up having to fight all my friends as well. That's fantastic. That's going to do well. And not to mention, I'll get +1 to hit just because I'm Space Wolves. Nice to have some rules for free. Finally. It's been a good wait. So, you know, they said Murderfang's going to get some more attacks. And then also we got some the Primaris Marines, which I don't, you know, yeah, some people are pretty hype about Primaris Space Wolves, and you know, for good reason. I'm just a little salty about them because I've never been a big humanoid fan within the game. Definitely more into the dire wolves and things of that nature, and I'm just fearful that they will make the Primaris be a necessity to the most optimized play, and I don't want to have to use them. If they make a balance where it's just a good option but not any better than some other, that'd be awesome, but not hold my breath. And we got new Gene Stealer models. Definitely exciting. I know our buddy Chris, the resident Gene Stealer player, is excited about it. James Sheets, I'm sure, is going to want some as well. He's our other Tyranid homie. And the thing that I'm most excited for, along with Space Wolves, is the new Orc Buggy model is looking pretty fire. I've been really enjoying these side games in general, the skirmish games. So I look forward to, one, just checking out Speed Freaks, where this game is going to be coming out of, or this model that's coming out of the new box set. And I have already 16 war buggies. I'm curious if they'll be interchangeable within the game, / how many equal the new model, because it is just super cool. I wonder if that's the size of a biker or more the size of a rhino. It'd be kind of lame if that was like a biker base there. Surely it's bigger than that. It's probably like Riptide size base is what I'm imagining. Yeah, so that's Space Wolves. We got Orcs. There's plenty of content out there just going over the things you guys have already seen on the internet in nauseum. They were talking last night of the Long War about the different things that we could guess are going to be coming. And I mean, I got all kinds of ideas. What we got here? No more Index Wolves. Yes, indeed. Yes. I hope we were to direct about rules played on top table, some rules and others. Yeah. Psha. It is what it is, Ice Wolf. I was agreeing with most of what you guys were saying. It was just a little difficult to control any of it. Didn't they have a cutoff date for Nova Codex inclusion? That's a great point, David. I'm really curious if it's going to make it. I swore that I saw this year versus last a caveat where they said that literally they can do it within 24 hours. With the way that things have been dropping, especially comparatively to last year, I feel like it's more of a trend for these tournaments to be more open-ended with the way the rules are incorporated. Like I think even at I feel like even at Adepticon there was something that went in play relatively right before the event started. I think it was a Codex Tau, I believe. Volume is a little quiet for me. I can definitely turn it up. Ouch. All right, there's a little bit more for you. Check. Orktober, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Players we discussed in chat had no defense. They were playing, and maybe they did nothing wrong. So that was Oh, right. So the main thing, Ice Wolf, is that there was one rule that was kind of neither here nor there that you guys were discussing, but there was another that would definitely be incorrect if it was done that way, and that is this. First, there was mention of going not counting vertical distance. For the knights. Well, the terrain being special terrain by Death Ray Designs, we're kind of forcing it onto the top table because we want to show it on the stream. And it is, because all the terrain that way is the way it is, it would be a little bit unfun if it was all like counting vertical distance everywhere. So instead, we don't count the vertical distance on them. They're just like hills that you just walk up. So that might have been what you were seeing. Just to make gameplay fast and fun on that board, there was no vertical distance. But the other rule that if did occur that I've not verified yet, that would not be good, and that is the about knights being able to just simply walk over other models. Knights can fall back from infantry models, they can walk over infantry models when they fall back. And I believe it is just infantry. But they can't just move over infantry models. They have to fall back over infantry models. And I think there might have been an instance, so I was gathering from looking at the chat that there was a knight that was moved over infantry and not fallen back over infantry, which would be an illegal move. And, one thing that I read about being a TO, not that this is another thing just to ask the group here, is like what can be difficult is that when you see, I've heard that the appropriate way to judge the moment is that if you see something as a TO that is illegal, but I guess this is where it's a gray area, but it's not. But the other player doesn't catch it, and nobody says anything. Then are you supposed to interrupt their game and say, "Hey, you can't do that"? Which I feel like you should. I feel like you should, but I've heard that maybe that's not the most tactful approach, and that you're supposed to let gamers game and have fun, and not kind of rule lawyer someone in mid-game. And that's where it's like, you know, what's something that'd be a light offense versus something that's a lot more uncool. The night thing is a good example, I guess, in general. Like, should you be like, yo, you can't do that, you know? Or if the players aren't asking questions and, like, the opponent isn't looking the rules up and being, you know, have a quizzical look on their face, do you just let it ride? So, you know, that's some of the stuff I've ran into with the TO position. I got you. I'm looking at you, Icewill. I think you should, too. It's not a rule lawyering to make someone play correctly. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of the stream. It's like, come correct, you know. And I like the stream catching shit. One, I appreciate that you're paying attention, and two, it you know, that's more eyes. Like none of us are as smart as everybody, you know. So I think if you're playing on the stream, especially prepared to be called out, like and not, you know. And then that's up to my skill set on whether I'm a dick about it or not. Obviously, I'm not going to be. But yeah, I think it is important to raise voice, and I wish that I was available at that moment, more available to be able to attend to those moments you guys were describing. Again, I shrugged it off when it was the distance on the height on the buildings, because we weren't playing with height on them. You just moved on them accordingly, but definitely can't do that with the night with the moving over things. Yeah, yellow card, dude. Now that would be a dick, right? You blow a big whistle in their face. As soon as the stream catches some shit, you're just like, time out. Like, do like the green screen explosions. Be like a whole bunch of them, just beep, 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 and be like, yellow card. You can't do that shit. And then, like, resume like normal. They would get pissed then. That'd be like on camera, like I put the camera up in their face and like zoom in super close. There's like fireworks going off, and I put a yellow card in front of them. That would be hilarious. Referees, yeah, fair enough. You know, a good clean fight is, you know, and usually the person that is getting abused against is the one that's is usually on the losing end of things, often enough, and they can be having the worst experience of it. So if they're probably going to lose anyways, maybe if they're, you know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm imagining things, but at least you can help mitigate any sort of bad feelsies by attending to them and making them feel like you're not letting any shit slide. They don't have to fight these stupid confrontations, because a lot of people, it'll come down to that. You got the person that wants to have fun, they want to have a good time. You got this aggro, aggressive bully type player that just wants to murder everyone and get the top prize and go home a victor. And the other guy just doesn't want to put the energy to waste his good time on trying to, you know, confront this bully dude. You know, not saying that was what happened at our event, but you know, that's kind of the underlying subliminal situation that goes down. And I think it's important to have a ref there to keep a nice clean fight going on, so that everybody has a better time. You know. Yeah, no doubt. That's where the I was looking at David there. It's hard knowing the rules, let alone making your opponent play them right. That's totally true. That's one of the things I was telling James the other night on a conference we were on about what I enjoyed about kill teams, is that right now it's just one book. Like, you can look at everyone's faction. You just pop that thing open. Like, nope, I know what tactics you have. I know your profiles. What weapon do you have? That's not assault, bro. Like, you can just look that shit up right then and there. It's so comfortable with that, so you feel a lot less like you're getting beat on the mystery of it, but just more so your straight gaming ability, or dice rolls, of course. So I appreciate that. You know, I like that about kill teams, is how much I'm focused on the game and not trying to remember everything under the sun about my opponent's army. Definitely a cool factor. You do a great job and enjoy your enthusiasm at the last one. That sets the tone. Yeah, man. Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks, bro. Yeah, this last one was really good too, dude. It's just as far as a good ass time. I can't wait to do more, and I really want to open up that upstairs. I think what we're gonna do, if we're gonna do a 2-day GT, my intuition is going with that. It's a less stress for me and the venue to do a 1-day event at the venue versus a 2-day in a row. That means that, especially if I want to start the weekend on a Saturday, because there's usually like a burlesque show or some sort of band or something's playing in the venue at nighttime, besides a Sunday, to where we can't leave everything there overnight. So the Saturday first day with an elimination tournament, top 16 plays at Battlegrounds the next day on Sunday. That's what I'm thinking. It'll be just a 2-round day. Freaking play in the morning, eat some lunch, play one more for the finals, and that would be a 2-day GT. We could have one in the books, and literally the event would count as a a GT event in the ITC scoring, which I think is awesome. Like, literally, that ability here in Richmond is non-existent. So that would feel phenomenal to be able to offer that, especially in the year 2018. We've set that as a goal. I just really I don't want to try and not succeed. We need a minute. I think we only need 27 people, though, to commit to a 2-day situation. I'm willing to open my house up to a mini hotel. Like, make me some breakfast. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I don't even eat breakfast. But, yeah, let's go. 2-day GT. You know, there was only a nice app that you could print all the lists or uniform with all the rules on them. What's up, Carson? Nice. Reading some comments. Nice. Oh, goodness. I'm getting some. There's so much to talk about. But speaking of events, I just got a text from my bud Hagen, Hagen was out at the Warp Charge Gaming event. Hagen and his buddy Walker, and they actually did best hybrid. I think it was Chaos and Xenos. It was Chaos and Tau together. And they pulled off best hybrid for the event. I was stoked to see them win that, get some medals, get some prizes. And right now Hagen's participating in our campaign for kill teams at Battlegrounds. I was stoked to be hosting. Personally, I've committed to being at Battlegrounds every Sunday from noon to 8 to play kill teams and get as many people playing the game as possible. We've started a store campaign, and you just go in the store, sign up, and every week you get paired up with a different opponent, and we're going through, there's the resources based on the percentage of what faction wins the most over the course of the week. We'll get additional resources, and literally it's a full-blown campaign played straight out of the book. So I'm really excited to be participating in that. Just made my command roster. I got some really funny names on my command roster. I wonder if I can show it to you here. Hagen is a good player. Yeah, nice. I'm running solo right now. James having technical difficulties, so I'm just rambling on. But yeah, running solo so far. I'm talking about how there's kill teams at Battlegrounds every Sunday, particularly. People are playing all throughout the week, but every Sunday people are playing. They are playing in the store for a campaign, and I just made my first command roster. Let me see if I can. Trying to be talented enough to maneuver this live here to show you what it looks like. I think I'm making it happen. All right, prepare yourselves. Getting into the narrative, and I made some funny ass names. Let's see what we get here. So check this out. Button. All right, I don't know how big that is for you, but what you're seeing here is Putrid Blessings. These are very straightforward. Putrid Blessings is my kill team's name. We're Dark Alchemist. We have a vengeful quirk. So, you kill something of mine, I tend to get vengeful about it and want to go headhunting. We have our mission is victory through endurance. And now for the good stuff. Let me tell you some of the names I got here. So my plague champion is Captain Corruption. He is meticulous. He is my leader. So Captain Corruption will lead my way to victory through endurance. And then, of course, you got Sergeant Slaughter. He is my combat specialist with a Flail of Corruption. Sergeant Slaughter is a belligerent fool who plans to go kick some ass. We got Mr. Disgust, Dr. Eradication, Death Giver, Officer Putrid. I think that one's good. I like this one. Henry Pestilence. What do you think of that? Then all my Poxwalkers, you know, being disposable as they are, we got Crap, Poo, Puke, Duke, Number 2, Rot, Spoiled, Waste, and then I got kind of lazy and I did Roger, Bill, Frank, and Quinn. So that is my that's my command roster for the Kill Teams campaign, and I look forward to seeing how I do. I definitely have found Death Guard to be very good in the Kill Team system, and I'm excited to give them a try both in this campaign and at Nova. I just got back, like I said, from the game store where I was able to play a couple games today. Lost one, won one. I whooped up on the Eldari, and I lost by only a couple points to it was actually a 1-point loss to a bunch of Intercessors, so a bunch of Adeptus Astartes Primaris Marines. Yeah, they got me. You know what? Check this. All right, cool. Let's see what you guys are saying. I like being exposed to a different meta. This RTT changed my Nova list based on my experience. Oh, that's fantastic. That's cool, man. That definitely gets the gears rolling. That's a beautiful thing. That has a value all in itself. I know. I mean, that's why I was at the game store today. Even though I didn't necessarily want to make the drive out, I need to practice, right? And like you learn things. So that's great, man. I'm glad that you had some ideas pop in your head there, some percolating going down. Definitely enjoyed having you, man. So that, you know, speaking of that, we were talking about some of that terrain. I actually got a little shot of it here. So this was the terrain that was used on the top table. This is a different paint job, but this is the Forgotten Outpost brought to us by Death Ray Designs. And you can see those kind of circular shaped buildings there, the round buildings. We had the platforms on top of the buildings, and we were not counting the height to get on top of those platforms. So that caused some confusion on stream whether there was illegal play happening or not, which is very attentive of them, and that's very cool. But it was all gravy. And yeah, getting ready for Nova. Bam. This is some of the most awesome terrain I saw at Nova. Last year, the Lord of the Rings setup was so pimp. They decked out Lord of the Rings. Like every single battlefield was this amazing diorama. Here's the beautiful awards that went down at the Warp Charge Gaming event. That was cool. That was cool. James has been still painting up my orcs for the Shadespire event at Nova. Look forward to playing that. Got a sweet token holder made by Jack, another Warp Charge gamer, with his 3D printer. So excited to show that off. Ali will be showing off these sweet Eldari planes that James painted up. And we're going to be rocking some new shirts. Shirts on the left is what we brought to Adepticon. Shirts on the right are what we got featured for Nova. And I'm excited to get those in very soon. Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, I just stared and stared. No, that's totally what's up, Vincent. I went there a lot of times. I would get a fresh drink, go look at those beautiful terrain boards. There was like there was one that was like a swampy island land. There was like these beautiful like castle walls with like rivers and I mean just epic scenes, man. Huge bridges. And like I love the terrain boards that have the scoop into the board where there's that depth where it's not all just flat, and like they'll use that liquid effect where it like really looks like it's running water. I love that. It's very, very cool. So yeah, I think I've hit all my favorite things. I've talked about kill teams, talked about our previous tournament, talked about Death Ray Designs, that we got dice coming with a new giveaway, then Battlegrounds rules, Space Marines stuff, big tournaments. There's my Space Wolves. Blam. That's pretty much my Space Wolf collection right there. Some good looking models indeed. That was all painted up by James. That was actually Warp Charge Gaming project. As we started the company, we started that army. It was my final bonus from my old job that I left to do this full time, and I took that final bit of money. Now this was like months before I quit. Otherwise, I probably would have saved it, to be honest. But I threw it all into this army as my last hurrah, the last big army I would get to purchase with that extracurricular income with my old previous gig. Now I'm living on the cheap, eating ramen, and still playing 40k. Loving it. Bam. 2 weeks of the Codex, already thinking about new lists. Yeah, totally, Icewolf. The one based in the Hobbit town. Yeah. Yeah, dude. No, totally, Vincent. I wish we would have known each other back then, man. We could have partied. This year's going to be so cool because I know so many more people in the community that are going to be so fun to hang with. I cannot wait to just have a banging time. And last year I nearly killed myself with the amount of freaking play that we did. And this year, I mean, I know some of my homies are still locked into the same grind, but I did the Thursday Trios tournament and then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday GT, and that's just so much gaming. And now this year, I have a real chill schedule. I'm doing 3 Kill Team pods and Shadespire every day. But each of those are just short windows. Saturday's a big day for me. I'm playing morning, afternoon, and then evening. So it's like, and this double Kill Team pod with a Shadespire after that. So that's like 3 mini events. That'll be pretty cool and intense. Thursday, I'll be playing in the morning and then playing in the evening with Shadespire. Friday, I'll just be playing Shadespire in the evening. But I'll have a lot of time to just network, cruise around, get a lot of footage. I'm excited to see what I can come up with the cameras here, and hopefully love a chance to get to interview some vendors and maybe some other YouTubers out there and other gamers in general. Yeah, it's a little crazy to put a camera on you out in the world there and you know, talk to the interwebs. But I really enjoy doing it. I'm just, you know, I've never done it before, so I've never, you know, tried to catalog everything I had to say about things, and it's a good time. So I look forward to being at the event and pushing myself further to break out of any shells that I'm in that holds me back from just speaking my truth and giving you guys some entertaining footage, letting you experience it if you're not there, or be able to have something cool to jog your memory if you were, kind of thing. Yeah, man, that Codex is coming quick. I'm real excited for the orcs too. Definitely going to be a resurgence in my 40k excitement because it's been a little bit on a stale point, which I felt like I'm not alone. Like, people gave me a similar vibe that things have felt a little redundant as of late. But I definitely took a hard crash on it, and it's mainly that I've just been falling in love with these skirmish games, you know, a ton. So yeah, pretty much. It's unfortunately can't stream. Streaming, I can stream from a phone, but streaming from the camera, like a GoPro, is like next to impossible. Yeah, certain logistics. There's a reason why you gotta have some crazy supercomputer tower thing to plug a bunch of multicams in. Or you could do it with a laptop. You know, I could technically carry around a laptop, put a laptop in my backpack. I could. It's possible. You're right. You're right, Icewolf. I'm gonna attach a GoPro to my head. I got some moves. I'll show you something. Since I'm running solo tonight, so I'm just kind of like keeping it rolling here. We're at 43 minutes. I'll show you what I would use to make this happen. So streaming, you know, actually giving live content to the interwebs there, that's a tricky situation. I mean, one, you got to be able to hope you got a good signal. But making content with cameras independently and then dumping that content into the computer later is definitely manageable. And for Adepticon, I got this piece, and I'm excited to use it some more. Let's see. This is a Zoom H5, I believe. Yep, Zoom H5. So this is a portable digital recorder. On top, you have these high-end condenser mics, and they pick up like crystal clear sound in a wide range. I can actually pick up in a 360, figure 8, or directional. So that alone, you could capture a lot. But when you have a lot of ambient noise like you will at this event, then technically you don't even need to use these mics, and they actually come right off. and then you would use the XLR inputs here, and you would plug these type of dynamic mics that I have here that I'm talking in now right into the unit. So I put these mics right here into my pocket, plugged into that digital recorder. So this bad boy's in my pocket, and I just pull that thing out, and I'll have 2 of them because that's why there's 2 inputs. So I have 2 dynamic handheld mics. I hand those, one to the interviewee, one to myself, and it's much more directional. It doesn't pick up all that ambient noise. So I'm definitely ready to go. It's mainly just like I've been talking to James about this before too. It's about how to keep the moment natural. Like the more that you can feel like you're not like setting, like when somebody's like taking a picture of you and you're like smiling, it's like your fake cheesy smile, versus like a good photographer is like catching you in the moment and getting that real life experience captured on film. So that's kind of the trick, is to be able to just hand out some microphones. Maybe they need to just feel like they're maybe being recorded by voice, but eliminating the feel of the camera on them. And that's where like a camera person would be actually really helpful. Or it's like constantly like selfie land, but I'm figuring it out. I've never been one to like ever take a selfie or anything like that. So even just pointing a camera at you, it got a lot easier having friends online like you guys, to be able to have someone I feel like I'm speaking to when this goes down. So yeah, we'll figure it out. If you notice that the Adepticon video is really more of just a music video. Like I took some interviews, but it was like more of an experience of trying to figure out how to do it. It's really difficult, and primarily it's just like a crazy music video of us just like partying at Adepticon, more so than any sort of conversation about what's going on. So I would love to talk to, mini wargaming. Like I'm a huge fan of like Dave and Matt. I would love to talk to those guys on cam. Long War Dudes, etc. There's a lot of great channels out there. Frontline Gaming. I would love that if they recognized who Warp Charge Gaming was and then like wanted to discuss what we had going on. That'd be so cool. So I'm trying to get that name out there. I do find it neat. I do seek and look forward to that kind of recognition, because that's what this has been about, is to try to do that, I think that's the only way that this is ever going to be viable, is to be able to reach a large audience. And that, of course, comes with quality of content first. But I'm just banking that my natural instincts will allow that to happen. Yeah, servo skulls, dude. Yeah, exactly, David. Yeah, the internet's not that good. Yeah, so that's the difficulty of the stream. And, it opens up risky business. Now, there is, like, you can definitely, like, spend money on, like, a ridiculous, like, portable personal Wi-Fi. And that just be the next step, If we ever make more money, or we get, like, a Kickstarter going on, and maybe in 2019 we're going to start a Patreon, things of that nature, like, maybe it can start to pay for itself to have that kind of connectivity. I would love it if, by people seeing what we're doing at our own events with these streams, rigs, and things of that nature, and maybe by upping the quality of our own battle reports, we're doing it here at home, that it starts to be requested that we do that at people's event, and they are willing to cover the cost to make that kind of thing happen. Technically, there's an Age of Sigmar tournament this Saturday at Battlegrounds, and I was considering going out and filming. It's a shit ton of work to do for, one, a system that we've never covered before, and two, last time we tried to stream there was very spotty internet. So it'll be an experiment in and of itself. And I don't know. I need more content, and I need to basically live in that game store to create it, but haven't necessarily found that that smooth comfort yet of how I'm going to film in the store on a regular basis. So working that out. It's all a marathon. If I was going as fast as I desired, I'd probably fall on my face. And if I was getting down on myself for not going as fast as I wish I was, then I would be extremely depressed. So, so you just keep on trucking, kind of thing, looking to the next day and all that. Looking at this. Yep. Yeah, dude, pretty much. That's pretty much Ice Wolf. Like, literally, because I'm playing these skirmish games, like, I don't even need to bring that much. And, like, I think I'm going to bring a cart just to haul a bunch of video shit. at Adepticon, like one thing that's fun that I enjoy doing is it's like a kind of like a spy or incognito, or it makes me think of Fear Loading in Las Vegas, where he has like that suitcase full of all kinds of crazy shit. I'll put all my camera equipment and audio equipment inside of GW Army cases. So I got like my like that bag you see behind me, that fits my camera like perfectly. And then like a big green GW case like holds all of the stands and everything. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. And it's just funny because it looks like I'm setting down an army like everybody else, but when I open it up, like this full-blown studio pops out. It's good times. It's good times. Yeah, like, I totally just like, you know, you want to set up like, the funny thing is it feels very renegade. Like you're there like trying to benefit off of all the humanity in this one place, caring about the same thing. But it's like, you how do you not feel vampiric? Like you're trying to feed off of what's available for your own desires. You know, you want it to be natural and fun. And like setting up a camera and like pointing at the wall and just like dragging people off the floor, like, yo, you want to like go talk on my stream? Not the most cozy way. So there's definitely videos out there and stuff about business professionals that have techniques and strategies of how to network the most effectively. And a lot of it, you know, just like sales that I've always, when I was a sales manager and had a staff of people as a store manager, you know, sales is the transference of enthusiasm. And basically, bottom line, be cool to people. You know, just be respectful, polite, generous, and kind. You know, welcoming, approachable, etc. You know, be cool. Like, and things kind of work themselves out as far as these situations. And I just have to keep myself in a positive headspace. And aware and open to the opportunities that lie before you. You know, so like when you go to a big event like that, like you never know like who you're talking to, some astrophysicist, some doctor, whatever, or like even just like, I don't know, some guru dude who's like, you know, maybe doesn't care about possessions, but it's like pretty damn enlightened. I don't know. Like, just like there's cool people all around you, and it's up to you to be able to, you know, make friends or be able to learn from those people or engage with them. We're all very much in our bubbles, especially behind a social media land like we live in. So I found that having a little bit more of a stress-free lifestyle this year, as I've invested a lot of money into myself to be able to try to do this entire year, I've had a lot. I've opened up a lot more to other people and what they're doing because I've had to worry about myself. I guess like when you only have 2 days a week to have off and you feel like your time is always given to someone else, that you get selfish about your own. And when you're trying to have a good time and cut back, the experience is much more about you. While whenever you get to cut back a lot more often or kind of live your life your own way, you have more of a natural instinct to be able to allow people to tell you their story and listen to what it's all about and care and engage and collaborate. So it's been a positive mindset that's came across me this year, and I couldn't be more happy for it. Priceless, if you will. So, yeah, getting a little introspective there, friends. That's what happens when I talk for an hour. It's James' fault. See what you guys are saying out there. Yeah, exactly, David. Yeah, podcast all day. Can totally do that. Yep, unpack. I really hate cheating when we unpack all these cameras. It's hilarious. Yeah, true. Very true. Yeah, totally, David. I totally agree. And that's, you know, there was, James was telling me about in his hometown that, you know, the competitive events do fine and all that, but there's like the narrative events, or no, this was Dark Bunny was telling me about this for the Field of Fire gaming crew out of Raleigh, North Carolina. They were struggling to get competitive event numbers, but when they do narrative numbers, people flock to it. Like it would sell out in 48 hours whenever they do narrative campaigns or events at like a bar. And I find that, there's a lot of people I talk to at the game store that I'm like, dude, you play 40K every week. You love 40K. Like, come to a tournament. They're like, nah, I'm not into tournaments, man. Like, not my scene. And a lot of it's due to, having a bad time at some event, or they start to get a perspective that's all that it's about. Is power gamers that that have lost focus to the fun of the hobby. But that's something that I think that that putting the bar in the event, putting things on stream, having cool terrain, it's all stuff that goes back to the fun side of things. Getting medals that aren't just for first and shit. That's what can I definitely like to promote the idea that it's a party and less of a tournament. You go to a major, sure, like you're in the heat of it, but at the same time, like you can fight for your bracket. There's plenty of people that are like, I've had more fun games by far than negative experiences at a major event. Time is a huge factor into whether you have a positive experience at local events as well. If you're trying to cram, if you're like a casual player and you're trying to cram a full 5 turns into a 2-hour match, that's already going to lead to bad feelsies, whether you like the person you're playing against or not. So like there's several factors to what make, when you have 3-hour rounds, it's a lot more applicable to be able to have a casual and good time. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I feel you, David. Same here in Europe. Only 20% are the power players that only come to win, but most of it is for fun. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I used to be very heavily into that I wanted to be the best that I could be, at least. And honestly, earlier this year, I went to an event and I didn't have a good time. And I really dive bombed my ability to meet people, do that whole thing I was just talking about being open and aware and receptive to people around you and getting to meet new people and have a good time and make friends. Like that to me is like where you can get the most joy. And I totally dive bombed feeling that way. I was pissed because I was so concerned about winning and things didn't go as I expected. Like the event through it had a whole different mission packet than I was expecting them to have, which would have changed my list dramatically, and that pissed me off outright to where things didn't go good from there. But that changed my perspective of like I was realizing that I felt stale and that I was getting pissed off that I have thousands of points of models and 10 different factions of shit, and that this small little 2,000 points was the only thing that was the most competitive option I could bring for the models that I have, and that if I really want to be competitive, I need to buy more models. And this is something that I've heard many a times from other players, but never sunk in, never really experienced it myself. But once I started like feeling bored with my collection after owning a beautiful and huge collection, I like felt like such a like kind of spoiled and like rotten. Like, what the fuck, dude? Why you got all this stuff and you can't even have fun and be happy about it? Because I was so caught up on winning. And that's when I started getting into these skirmish games and putting 40K as more my beer and chips, if you will, of just kicking back and having a good time and trying to take it places like narrative games, campaigns. I just want to take stuff that looks the coolest, and like now I go rule of cool first and foremost, and I was not that before. Now granted, I'm going to optimize within the rule of cool, but the first thing is I'm going to pick what I want. So like if I want to play a match with Fate Weaver in it, I don't think Fate Weaver is any good at all in 8th edition. He's great in Age of Sigmar, but I'm going to just I'm going to make the list with Fate Weaver, and I don't care, and build the most optimized thing around it from there. I want to take a Brass Scorpion in the list. I don't care if it's the most optimized. That's what I feel like bringing on the table. I'm going to build it from there. So that's the way I roll now. And I've been using Kill Teams and Shadespire as my way of a more chess-like experience. And I've been so much more gratified and satisfied with the amount of effort that I put into the hobby and then what I get back in return kind of thing. I really appreciate the mitigation of the rock, paper, scissors aspect of like, well, I brought overwhelming this, and this, and if you don't have if you don't have what it takes to deal with that, then it's kind of an auto loss. Oh, if I go first, I win, and that happened to some of our games on stream. Who went first wins, and to me, that's that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. I do not enjoy who goes first wins being a major application to a game. Sure, it can happen here and there, like, okay, but like if that's how it is almost every time that list plays, it's fucking boring, dude. So yeah, that's one thing that I highly appreciate about Age of Sigmar 2.0 is that, and even in the previous edition, is that, you know, each turn is random. You can have a double turn. That's crazy. I love kill teams in Shadespire. Every turn, every round, it's somebody else is going first potentially. It's all good stuff. I also, yeah, I mean, they're just more balanced games and maybe more simplified, but like it's a place that you can get off on your competitive nature and not kind of have these certain aspects against you, and particularly the time. Again, like I get so hyper anxious on just being able to finish a game in time that I will make mistakes and rush things because I want the game to be complete reasonably. And it's usually not even because I'm going slow. It's to mitigate my opponent's going slow. And I want to see a game go to its conclusion. Oftentimes as well, I make late bloomer lists, and in my practice games, I often win on turn 5 and 6. But when you can only get to turn 4, that's not going to happen. So, you know, I'll make fast judgments and be like, well, obviously I meant it, but no, I didn't pre-measure, and yes, I'm an inch off, and shit like that will happen to me. So I often end up beating myself in those moments, and I can feel the source of my stress is being concerned about time. And even though my games will finish before the time runs out, it's often after I've made a flurry of mistakes because I'm moving too quickly. Yeah. So all that stuff. So yeah, I do enjoy tournaments a lot, but in 40k I've lost a little taste for them. But that's also the armies that I've been most inspired to play for the entire year have been Orcs and Space Wolves, and that maybe it's because they're the ones without the codexes. Honestly, the Chaos, which is my the largest force I had, was didn't like tickle my fancy very hard when it first dropped. I just like wasn't enamored with it. Totally like chugging on the cup of chaos there. For some reason, I couldn't get super hype. I had some moments of glory, some good times. I definitely enjoyed the index state before the points drops. You know, I was having fun with Malefic Lords. I was having fun with basically my most this is the thing that started to wear on me too, is that every time I need to go to a tournament, the most competitive thing that I could ever lean to out of my collection was Tzeentch. You know, they're so good, but I have so much corn that's just collecting dust. I have a Nurgle army that, you know, then I started mix matching and souping, and that started feeling dirty. It's just like, yeah, Space Wolves and Orcs are going to resurge my love. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really hoping that models that I have will be viable. I actually just bought a whole bunch of Marines. Let me show you this. So for the guy that doesn't like Marines, I got a sweet deal of Battlegrounds. Yeah, bunch of special weapons. What I expected, these were sitting at Battlegrounds for a hot sec. And I'm expecting that the book's going to drop, and like scouts and regular tactic Marines and all this whatever, blood claws, they're going to be really good, and that these will all disappear. So I went ahead and nabbed them all up. I traded a Wraith Knight. Wraith Knight for a shit ton of old painted Marines that they're actually painted pretty cool. Got some sweet conversions, got a bunch of weapon loadouts. So I'm set. What's that? What's those animal lovers, which I love animals and I love doggies, but those animal lovers that like Napa or something, how they're hating on Space Wolves. I got lots of those pelts going on. So 8 people watching tonight. James, if you're out there, I think we got the 60 sub people, not by much, but we did have some good attention span on this episode here, episode 18. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm about to close this out. Does anybody got anything they want to ask before I jump out of here? We're going to be back next Thursday. We got more Kill Teams matches going to be streamed. Actually, I'm planning on playing Kill Teams tomorrow. Got hit up from a new friend. We're going to have a new face in the studio here. Meeting a lot of new people at Battlegrounds, which is fantastic. Love those guys and the people of my city and community. Shirts are about to come in. Dice are on their way. Nova's coming. I mean, damn. Things are good. Got 3 new Kill Team bat reps on the page that are just filmed for the last 2 days. There was also a double header, Tyranids versus Eldari. Connor and Chris continue to go head-to-head in a feud they have going. Connor has not been able to beat Chris. Chris is on a bit of a undefeated streak. He's kind of wiling out, particularly on stream and against Connor with his triple Tyrannifex list. Oh, 9 watching. What's up, 9 people? And we're just kind of summarizing the end of the show here, friends. Yeah, we had a great event. Over this next week, we're going to try to decide if the details of the next tournament. And we're about to go live in about a day with our next giveaway, which is going to be a set of dice. And again, we got 5 new colors coming, plus the original Vortex Orange, and 1 lucky winner is gonna get a set of 12 sent to them for free just by following the instructions of our giveaway. Hope to see ya. And Nova Open coming soon. Just printing out my packets today. Got a command roster. May. Okay. Yeah, cool, Ice Wolf. Yeah, those are still in the works. It's a 9-week process, so we're gonna probably get those in about 30 days. I can't imagine shipping's too crazy. Honestly, like Chris will totally cover you on shipping. You can just PayPal him the difference. I'm sure he'll do that. Well, we're buying like 1,000 of them. It's more like 700 dice, so they're technically in these big ass packs, but they're gonna be 12 in a set. So $10 for 12, and if you win, then 12 for free. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Of course, they got the warp charge on the 6 there. I love these dice. They've done me right, and they've done me wrong, but they do me right when it matters the most. They got a lot of love in them. When you need that 6, it loves to show you that warp charge. You know what I'm saying? Milo, it's good to see you too, bro. Been catching you a lot on the stream here, and I do appreciate you. Yeah, y'all, that's an hour solo. I think it's time to rock and roll. I got more stuff I could do. I recorded a painting tutorial by Oscar Lars. You can check him out on Instagram. He makes some ridiculous paint schemes. And I tried to record one of his classes in the game store, so I'm going to try to edit that up next. No worries, man. Oh, yeah. Gotta have orange on the green screen. Yeah, y'all, it's been a good one. Ice Wolf, it was cool seeing you on the Long War last night. That was funny. I was like, yo, what's up, homie? We're raiding this bitch up in the Long War chat. That was funny. Yeah, things are all gravy and good, friends. I'm going to piece this puppy out for this week. We're going to be back on Thursday doing the same thing for episode 19. And, of course, we're going to be streaming soon, hopefully tomorrow. Stay tuned for more. Keep taking fun seriously. Thank you, Ice Wolf. Appreciate that, bro. Let's do a little outro. Chapow!